She was right.
Nicole Murphy is finally telling her side, and if even part of it is true, it completely flips the narrative. For years, LisaRaye McCoy stood 10 toes down, accusing Nicole of destroying her marriage and painting her as a gold digger. That story stuck, but now Nicole is pushing back, and what she's alleging is raising a lot of eyebrows. According to her, LisaRaye wasn't exactly innocent behind the scenes, claiming there were multiple affairs with married men, including one high-profile name, Gary Payton, allegedly. So now the question changes, was Nicole really the homewrecker, or was this a case of karma coming full circle? This isn't just drama, it's a full-on perspective shift. And if you think this story ends here, it doesn't.
Nicole Murphy, you're disgusting. You sat on that couch and you laughed. It ain't no moment, it's a mess. You wrong for that. You the type of women that let these men be evil. They gotta have some help, and women like you are that type of help.
This LisaRaye McCoy and Nicole Murphy drama? It's not new. It's one of Hollywood's longest-running feuds, and after all these years, neither side is letting it go. We're talking over a decade of tension, shade, and public callouts. It all really blew up when Nicole Murphy was caught kissing director Antoine Fuqua, who, at the time, was married to Lela Rochon. That moment went viral, and suddenly, Nicole was at the center of a full-blown scandal. She went on an apology tour soon after, calling it a one-time mistake and insisting it would never happen again. But LisaRaye wasn't buying it. Not even a little. She came out swinging, saying she didn't believe Nicole's apology and claiming this wasn't the first time Nicole had been caught with someone else's husband. And that's where things got messy, because once those accusations hit the public, this stopped being just one incident and turned into a pattern people couldn't ignore. Now here's the real question. Was LisaRaye speaking from experience or something deeper? Because what comes next adds a whole new layer to this story.
That's true, absolutely true.
So what happened exactly?
Just what you said. She messed around with my husband. Here's the thing. We've all done something that we regret. We've all made mistakes, and we all have to learn from that. But when you start doing it and being messy enough to do it amongst family, how does a family kiss turn into a I'm sorry apology? Like, what do you mean? You didn't know that she was married? We all know that she was married. And that was 20 years. That's history. You don't do that amongst friends.
Right.
Because there's no loyalty.
Right.
There's no loyalty, and you got to look up, and your person that you invite into your house and you celebrating your birthdays and going to games with, you got to look up and they're in Italy with your husband.
Right.
This is where things really started to spiral, because for the first time, we saw another celebrity publicly call out Nicole Murphy for how she'd allegedly been moving behind the scenes. And it made it even messier, because LisaRaye and Nicole weren't strangers, they were actually friends. They ran in the same circles, shared the same spaces, and, according to LisaRaye, had a close enough relationship that Nicole was even invited to her wedding to former Turks and Caicos Prime Minister, Michael Misick. But here's the twist that took this from drama to betrayal. LisaRaye later claimed she had no idea that, while smiling in her face and celebrating her big day, Nicole was allegedly plotting to go after her husband the entire time. If that's true, this isn't just Hollywood gossip anymore. This is personal. And it raises a bigger question. Was this ever just about one incident, or had this been building up behind the scenes for years?
My thing is this. When you're a woman and you grown, let's handle it like a woman. Let's talk face to face and let's get it out. But here's the thing. I sat with her a couple of months ago, longer than a couple of months ago, about 6 monts ago. And
this was after the alleged affair?
Before.
Okay.
And I said, let's talk about it, because I waited a very long time for you and I to get like this right here, face to face, you know? And
no, she's talking about Nicole, not me.
Right.
Right. Relax.
And we had a good conversation, because she said to me, you know what? We're two older women that look good that's in the business. I hate this. And I do too, because I hate when we can't bridge the gap between women. You know, we should not be in that position.
Right.
I will say this.
And here's where it really takes a sharp turn. Because according to LisaRaye, when she confronted Nicole about everything, Nicole didn't deny it, didn't apologize, nothing. No response, no accountability, just silence. And that hit differently, especially when you compare it to how quickly Nicole addressed the Antoine Fuqua situation. Even now, as of 2026, there's been no real attempt to fix that friendship. But here's the twist that flips the entire narrative. Nicole is basically saying she never took LisaRaye's accusations seriously, and in her eyes, there's a reason for that. Because while LisaRaye has consistently painted Nicole as someone who targets married men, there are long-standing rumors and reports that LisaRaye's own past isn't exactly spotless either. We're talking about alleged relationships overlapping timelines, messy breakups, and connections with high-profile men, some of whom were reportedly not single at the time. Stories involving names from sports, music, and politics have followed her for years, painting a picture that critics say contradicts the image she presents publicly. Now, to be clear, many of these claims have lived in the realm of rumors, insider talk, and allegations, not confirmed facts. But in the court of public opinion, they've been enough to raise eyebrows and fuel this ongoing feud. And that's what makes this situation so complicated. Because now it's not just about who did what, it's about credibility. It's about whether either side can really claim the moral high ground when both have faced accusations of crossing similar lines. So the real question is this a case of calling out bad behavior or calling out someone for doing the same things you've been accused of yourself? Either way, this isn't just messy, it's layered. And somehow, after all these years, it still isn't over.
I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me.
But here's where the conversation really gets tricky. If that's truly been LisaRaye's playbook all along, using relationships to maintain a certain lifestyle, then it hits different when she turns around and calls Nicole Murphy out. Because it's one thing to speak on someone else's behavior, it's another to expect accountability when you've faced similar allegations yourself. That's why, for a lot of people, her stance comes off as inconsistent. For years, she's positioned herself as above that kind of drama, like she was operating on a different level. But when you line up the rumors, the stories, and the past relationships people keep bringing up, it starts to blur that image. And that's what makes this whole situation feel less like a clear-cut right versus wrong, and more like two sides of the same coin. Because at the end of the day, the question isn't just about Nicole anymore. It's about whether LisaRaye can really take the moral high ground in a situation that looks, at least from the outside, very familiar. So now I've got to ask you, is LisaRaye calling out bad behavior or just calling out someone who played the same game better? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe because this story, yeah, it's far from over.